Well met and welcome to Tales Told, a series where I perform readings on works of historic or cultural significance. Today's reading is called Titty Mouse and Tatty Mouse, and is another English fairy tale. So let us begin. Titty Mouse and Tatty Mouse both lived in a house. Titty Mouse went a-leasing, and Tatty Mouse went a-leasing, so they both went a-leasing. Titty Mouse leased on an ear of corn, and Tatty Mouse leased an ear of corn, so they both leased an ear of corn. Titty Mouse made a pudding, and Tatty Mouse made a pudding, so they both made a pudding. And Tatty Mouse put her pudding into the pot to boil, but when Titty Mouse went to put hers in, the pot tumbled over and scalded her to death. Then Tatty Mouse sat down to weep. Then a three-legged stool said, "Tatty, why do you weep?" "Titty's dead," said Tatty, "and so I weep." Then said the stool, "I'll hop." So the stool hopped. Then the broom in the corner of the room said, "Stool, why do you hop?" "Oh," said the stool, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, and so I hop." Then said the broom, "I'll sweep." So the broom began to sweep. Then said the door, "Broom, why do you sweep?" "Oh," said the broom, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, and the stool hops, and so I sweep." Then said the door, "I'll jar." And so the door jarred. Then said the window, "Door, why do you jar?" "Oh," said the door, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, and the stool hops, and the broom sweeps, and so I jar." Then said the window, "I'll creak." So the window creaked. Now there was an old form outside the house, and when the window creaked, the form said, "Window, why do you creak?" "Oh," said the window, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, and the stool hops, and the broom sweeps, and the door jars, and so I creak." Then said the old form, "I'll run around the house." And the old form ran around the house. Now there was a fine large walnut tree by the cottage, and the tree said to the form, "Form, why do you run around the house?" "Oh," said the form, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, and the stool hops, and the broom sweeps, and the door jars, and the window creaks, and so I run around the house." Then said the walnut, "I shed my leaves." So the walnut began to shed its beautiful green leaves. Now there was a little bird perched on one of the boughs of the tree, and when all the leaves fell it said, "Walnut tree, why do you shed your leaves?" "Oh," said the tree, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, the stool hops, and the broom sweeps, the door jars, and the window creaks, and the old form runs around the house, and so I shed my leaves." Then said the little bird, "I'll molt all my feathers." So he molted all his pretty feathers. Now there was a little girl walking below, carrying a jug of milk for her brothers and sisters' supper. And when she saw the poor little bird molt all its feathers, she said, "Little bird, why do you molt all your feathers?" "Oh," said the little bird, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, the stool hops, and the broom sweeps, the door jars, and the window creaks, and the old form runs around the house, and the walnut tree sheds its leaves, and so I molt all my feathers." "Then," said the little girl, "I'll spill the milk." And so she dropped the pitcher and spilled the milk. Now there was an old man just by, on top of a ladder, thatching a rick, and when he saw the little girl spill the milk, he said, "Little girl, what do you mean by spilling the milk? Your little brothers and sisters must go without their supper." Then said the little girl, "Titty's dead, and Tatty weeps, the stool hops, and the broom sweeps, the door jars, and the window creaks, and the old form runs around the house, and the walnut tree sheds all its leaves, and the little bird molts all its feathers, and so I spill the milk." "Oh," said the old man, "then I'll tumble off the ladder and break my neck." So he tumbled off the ladder and broke his neck, and when the old man broke his neck, the great walnut tree fell down with a crash, and upset the old form and house, and the house falling knocking the window out, and the window knocking the door down, and the door upset the broom, and the broom upset the stool, and the poor little Tatty mouse was buried beneath the ruins. And so that was the tale. I must admit it gave me quite the chuckle just how serious it became in an instant, with the old man falling from his ladder and breaking his neck, and Titty Mouse being scolded to death without any pre-warning. It's one thing I love about these sorts of tales, is that serious things can just befall one without any pre-signalling. I find that fairy tales have this sort of charm to them, where one can present such a dark thing and have it still be cheerful. I did enjoy this one, and I did not find the repetitiveness of the, rhyme to be as burdensome as some I've done before. I found this one actually to be quite enjoyable. But yes, I'll leave it here. Wish you all the best. Farewell, good friends and fellows.